Hi, my name is Ayush Trivedi. I'm the co-founder and director of Audasix. At Audasix, our business is to make your customers more sticky, more engaged, and ultimately more profitable. We do this by optimizing your software delivery process, whether that be mobile apps, web apps, or even desktop apps. And we focus on three key areas: test automation, load testing, and security testing or pen testing. Today's video is all about giving you the tools and the know-how and the knowledge to help you make the right decision when you select an external pen testing services provider. I'm going to give you 6 questions that you must ask of yourself and of any potential partners before you agree to contract with them. Now, the goal here is to help you select the right external party, external partner, to maximize the value, create a tremendous amount of value from any external pen testing service that you agree to. What we absolutely want to avoid is a situation, as is common in a lot of IT outsourcing projects, where you pay a bunch of money, but the actual results, the actual value that you get is quite so-so. The first question you need to ask any prospective pen testing service provider is, what are my responsibilities and what are your responsibilities, right? You need to be clear on what they bring to the table, and you need to be clear on what you need to do, what you need to help them with to make this project an overall success. Now, the most classic example of this is around tools, right? Does the pen testing service provider provide the tools, or does the customer provide the tools? This is often a gray area that leads to a lot of missed timelines, a lot of subpar results, and a lot of confusion often in these sort of outsourcing engagements, right? I'll give you a great example. We provide what we call pen testing as a service. Now, this is a solution which is an end-to-end project where we manage everything, right? We bring the tools, we bring the know-how, we bring the people, and we bring the methodologies. All that the customer has to do is focus on fixing the vulnerabilities that this process finds in their applications and in their networks. Do yourself a favor. Avoid these confusions. Avoid these situations where value is diminished and tensions rise. Ask this question up front of your security testing service provider. What do you bring to the table? What do you need us to bring to the table? The second question you must ask of your external pen testing provider is about the results that they have delivered to their other customers. Right. Now look, results and value are very intangible, abstract, ambiguous concepts. What is a great result for you may not be as powerful or as valuable to me. What you consider to be value, I may not put as much importance on. So these are all very subjective matters, but after all, you're the decision maker. You need to be happy that you're making the right decision. So why don't you hear it? Ask them this question and hear it from them as to what result they think they've provided to their other customers. What you want to understand specifically with this question is whether the service that they provide is a vanilla service or a customized service. It also helps you understand, their answers will also help you understand exactly what they perceive as valuable. Now, if your provider thinks something is valuable and you think the same thing is valuable, then that's a great match made in heaven. Why wouldn't you go for that project together? However, if they're struggling to understand what your appreciation of value is, and you're a distance apart, then you either have to bridge that gap or you have to make the decision to look elsewhere. I gave you the example before of how we customize test plans for every security or pen testing project. Now, yes, there are frameworks that we can use. There's the OWASP framework, there's the P2ES framework. At the end of the day, there are tests within those frameworks that your project may not require. Now, if you don't want us to check your source code or scan your source code, why are we putting that in the test plan and charging you for that, right? This is just one example of where you can understand just how much the external service provider that you're looking at wants to deviate from the norm or deviate from what is a vanilla methodology, and how much they want to incorporate your direct needs and your direct wants into their testing program. The third question is a follow-up to the second question. In the second question, you ask them what results they've provided to their other customers. Don't just assume that you will get the same results, right? Ask them the third question: what exactly will I get from the testing project that you conduct? The goal here is to again delve deeper into whether they are providing you a cookie cutter service, or they're going to provide you a customized project which is heavily dependent and heavily based on the goals, the challenges, the aspirations that you have communicated to them. One great way of understanding in tangible terms the value you might get from a project like this is to ask the external service provider for sample test plans, right? Ask them to show you exactly what they will test for you based on what you've told them so far. By understanding the answers to this question, you'll get a great sense of whether you're getting a customized test plan and test scope, or you're buying something off the shelf which may or may not suit your needs. At the end of the day, it is up to you to then decide which option you're happy with and which option fits your budget, and make the decision accordingly. Now for the fourth question. It's all about communication. It's a very simple question. The question is, how will you communicate with us? If you've done any work, any project work in the past, I don't want to teach you to suck eggs, but communication makes or breaks a project, especially when there's an external party involved, like an external or outsourced security testing, pen testing service provider. Communication really is where all the value sits, right? You need to ask questions like, how quickly will you give us feedback? When you find a vulnerability, when will we find out? Do you wait till a report is prepared a week later, or do you send us an email or call us to let us know that a critical or emergency vulnerability has been found? The second part of this communication question is to understand how receptive they are to your needs. If they say to you, look, we just provide a report, we'll give you 2 reports, an interim report and a final report, and you got to wait for the reports to understand the vulnerabilities, and you say to them, actually, no, I need it at the end of every day while you're conducting the test. If they're not receptive to your needs, if they're not receptive to your ideas, it's probably a good indication of how successful this project will be for you, and how well you'll be able to achieve your goals, how thoroughly you'll be able to achieve your goals by contracting with someone who doesn't understand your communication needs. The fifth question is, what do you do that your competitors don't? It is a great question that every customer must ask, whether it's a security testing or pen testing project or some other project unrelated to IT. At the end of the day, you want to understand what you're getting that's extra. You also want to understand, do they value the same things that you value? If they're giving you a list of benefits that they provide, do those benefits align with what you expect? Or are they just superfluous, nice to have things that won't really add too much value to this project for you? You can also ascertain through this question that whether they need to offer you something that they don't currently realize, and how willing they are to amend their offering to suit your needs. Again, you're the customer. You should know what you want. You should be able to articulate the value you want from this project, and your goal is to find a provider which can deliver that value to you on a platter. The other most crucial thing that you want to understand by asking this question is, what sort of commercial sense does this pen testing service provider actually have, right? It is very easy to look at an application and tell you, oh, look, there are 50, 100 things that are wrong, 50, 100 vulnerabilities with this application. But to whittle those down, to model the threats of each of those vulnerabilities appropriately, and to give you a concise and consolidated list of vulnerabilities which are ranked by risk priority, that is where the value is at in a security testing project. And If a security testing partner can explain to you how they do that, then you have a great insight into their commercial sense and into their ability to add value to your project from day one. The final question, the sixth question, is all about timeliness. Ask your security testing partner, your pen testing service provider, when can you start? Can you work weekends? Can you work after hours? Can you provide me services in a time where my dev team, my test team is not affected? These things may or may not be important to you, so sort this out before you speak to any potential partners, because these things will ensure that, again, all your ducks are in a row and your desired results are effectively communicated, and that you're all on the same page before you sign a piece of paper and before you begin a project. Asking all these 6 questions in any selection process for a security testing vendor will help you make sure that you're getting tremendous value from any pen testing exercise that you conduct. Good luck.